A federal district judge says Texas overstepped its bounds when it comes to monitoring the border in the Rio Grande, the river that divides the U.S. and Mexico, international waters typically under the purview of the federal government and not the states.
I'm glad the sooner they're out of the river, the better. I just don't want those buoys to be stored on city land. I want them gone forever, and I want the concertina wire gone. I want the containers gone.
America Garcia Graywall speaks of her opposition to the 1,000-foot river barrier Governor Greg Abbott ordered installed in the Rio Grande between Eagle Pass, Texas, and its neighboring city of Piedras Negras, Mexico. Abbott argues the barrier is another measure to discourage illegal crossings. Graywall believes the measures do not help.
The concertina wire exhausts people. They walk up and down the riverbank, and over 800 people died last year. Over 500 people have died this year. So this is just one more weapon in the arsenal that's killing people who are trying to seek asylum here in the United States.
Abbott didn't seek permission from the International Boundary and Water Commission. The IBWC is made up of the Mexican and U.S. governments, and it decides all issues about the river. The federal government sued, saying he violated the law governing all usable waterways in the U.S. by putting up the buoys. The federal judge slapped Texas with a preliminary injunction, saying Governor Abbott announced that he was not asking for permission for Operation Lone Star, the anti-immigration program under which Texas constructed the floating barrier. Unfortunately for Texas, permission is exactly what federal law requires before installing obstructions in the nation's navigable waters. Abbott has argued that the migrant crossings were an invasion of Texas and that he had the right to fight back under the U.S. Constitution. The judge, who was appointed by President Ronald Reagan, sided with the Biden administration on this. The judge ruled that the buoys have to be removed by September 15th, also adding Abbott doesn't have the authority to declare an invasion. That power lies with Congress. The Biden administration argued that Abbott was harming diplomatic relations with Mexico and water navigation.
We want to work with Mexico. Does that say we're friends with Mexico? No, it doesn't.
Activist and local Democratic Party leader Juanita Martinez says huge law enforcement and National Guard presence has militarized her hometown.
This is what I'm fighting. What I find most grievous is this concertina wire.
Abbott says Texas will appeal in a written statement saying the court decision merely prolongs President Biden's willful refusal to acknowledge that Texas is rightfully stepping up to do the job that he should have been doing all along. Local migrant aid groups said the buoys are equipped with razor-sharp wire and are dangerous and ineffective. Peace is what many organizations are asking for. We are in favor of life. We are in favor of opening our hearts and our doors to anyone who needs them. The buoys are going to be a danger. These buoys are not helping at all.
And the governor in his filings was eager to make this buoy system all about border security, and the judge overseeing the case said, this lawsuit is about a navigable waterway under the aegis of the federal government, and that the fact that Texas put this there without permission takes away use of a resource that is shared by both the U.S. and Mexico. To date, the state of Texas has spent more than $6 billion on its own border security effort dubbed Operation Lone Star.
John, before you go, can you give us a snapshot of what you're seeing right now at Eagle Pass? Because to hear some of the reports, you would think that there are literally thousands of migrants flooding over the border. I've been looking at some of the footage you took today, and I don't see that many people.
Yeah, we saw dozens of men presenting themselves to both the Texas Department of Public Safety, as well as National Guard and the Border Patrol. These are things that I've seen, I guess if you could describe them as normal traffic of people crossing between ports of entry, presenting themselves to federal officials and or state officials and declaring that they are seeking asylum. So, if you're going to say that this is normal, this is presumably what I've seen is typical normal foot traffic for this part of Texas.
John Moon for us in Eagle Pass, Texas. John, as always, thank you very much.